In what feels like a business-based reality TV drama show, Twitter is suing Elon Musk because they invested in Dogecoin when Elon was pumping it and they want their money back. Twitter was getting upset that one of its biggest users was promoting a digital asset that would drop 70% in price over the past year on its platform. Twitter was like, dude, you gotta start promoting something legit or we're gonna sue you. Elon said, sue me bro, I have enough money to buy you. Twitter was like, prove it. Elon put his balls on the table and showed the Twitter executives a picture of a Tesla. Twitter's C-level team were like, oh cool, a Tesla. We prefer the Porsche Taycan. Enraged, Elon said, at least I own Tesla, 17%, meaning I could buy you tomorrow. Twitter said, we're not for sale, but for you, we'll charge a 38% premium. Elon showed a picture of an egg and said, here's your user base, Twitter boys. Twitter's team challenged Elon to put up the money or shut up. Elon activated his Twitter fingers. Here's the complaint. With over 100 million followers, Musk's account is one of the most followed on Twitter, and he has tweeted more than 18,000 times. He has also suggested he would consider starting his own company to compete with Twitter. I have a great video idea that I'll pitch to Mr. Beast, a competition between someone with 100 million followers and someone with $100 million in cash. Who has more money in 24 months? On April 25, 2022, Musk, acting through and with his solely owned entities, parent and acquisition sub, agreed to buy Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash for a total of about $44 billion. At the time, the stock was trading at $48.93 per share. I'm not sure how he arrived at that number because Twitter has always been overpriced to me. Their price to earnings ratio is 149.83. I know I'm not an expert in this arena, but that seems like an insane price to pay for a company that could be canceled by half of its user base tomorrow. Twitter made $5 billion in revenue in 2021, which absolutely blows my mind. They still lost $221 million for the year, which can be seen as a positive because they lost over $1 billion the year before. One of the reasons why I don't play the stock game is I just don't get it. How can a company with no obvious future growth be valued at nearly $28 billion in losing money every year? I know this isn't my area of expertise, but why in the world would Elon be willing to pay a 38% premium for a company that seems extremely overvalued in the first place? After the merger agreement was signed, the market fell. As the Wall Street Journal reported recently, the value of Musk's stake in Tesla, the anchor of his personal wealth, has declined by more than $100 billion from his November 2021 peak. Imagine someone making small talk with Elon not knowing who he is. So, how is your week going, mister? Well, I lost around $100 billion recently, and I knocked up an employee. But it's not stopping me from going to the moon. One of the chief reasons Musk cited on March 31, 2022 for wanting to buy Twitter was to rid it of the crypto spam he viewed as a major blight on the user experience. Twitter is full of crypto shilling and mass promotion of every little useless altcoin that was created in the last 24 hours. Oh, wait, he said crypto spam. I thought he said crypto scams. Yeah, crypto spamming is an issue too. We're taking a quick break so I can show you how great of a chef I am. As much as I'd love to take credit for my abilities in the kitchen, this would not be possible without my partners at HelloFresh. If you're ready to up your game in the kitchen, HelloFresh offers over 55 different weekly options featuring pre-portioned, high-quality ingredients picked at peak ripeness. They deliver fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week so you can savor summer flavors right from home. Hello Custom allows you to customize your box by swapping out one protein or side for another, upgrading for a more luxe experience, or adding protein to a veggie meal. That means more choices, more variety, and more meals tailored just for you. My first order included black bean and pepper quesadillas, chicken parmesan spaghetti, and garden spinach ricotta ravioli, all with a super helpful guide for preparing the meals. Foolproof, step-by-step recipes mean a joyful cooking experience and a stress-free summer. Plus, HelloFresh lets you save time by having meals ready in under 30 minutes or less. Saving money and time by cooking at home is my favorite type of investment, which I can do with HelloFresh. Use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGSCJuly16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes, plus 3 free gifts. Once you click, my description will live update to count up the purchases. Starting in January 2022, Musk began purchasing Twitter stock. By March 14, 2022, he had secretly accumulated a substantial position, about 5% of the company's outstanding shares. Imagine having so much cash that you just begin purchasing a significant position in a large public company. If you did that today, 5% of Twitter would cost you $1.35 billion. I personally would have tried to buy a sports team with that kind of cash. That's my vision of the biggest flex. SEC regulations require that he disclose that position no later than March 24, 2022. Musk failed to disclose and instead kept amassing Twitter stock with the market none the wiser. This may not seem like a big deal, but I think it is. The reason why the stock market is considered a very efficient market is because we all, theoretically, are operating with the same information. Elon Musk was not. He knew he had a plan to buy more than 5%, and because of his stature, he was essentially buying at a discount against a market that didn't know, aka he was buying at a discount given that the price would increase from the publicity. Twitter's stock price jumped 27% upon the disclosure. Between March 24 and April 4, over 112 million Twitter shares traded in ignorance of Musk's mounting ownership. I know it sounds crazy, but Musk is powerful enough to drive that kind of behavior from investors. In a way, he created a 27% discount for himself. Pretty savvy, but not exactly following the rules. Musk's contemplation of building a rival platform to Twitter was not a secret. On March 26, 2022, he had tweeted that he was giving serious thought to the idea. This was totally a leverage play. He was not serious. Elon gave as much thought to starting a rival Twitter as I was to creating a Spider-Man Inu coin. A week after agreeing to join the board of directors, Elon told Twitter he wanted to buy the company. That's such a powerful move. Imagine walking into a job interview at Chipotle and the manager says, "Hey Spencer, we'd love to have you join our team." Before the first day of work you go, I prefer tweeting and thinking about space. I'll just buy the entire company instead. Here's the letter sent by Musk to buy Twitter with his stated terms. I'm fascinated that this information goes public. I figured these talks would stay private with NDAs signed. Twitter is a public company and everything would be disclosed, but man, I feel like there's so much potential to manipulate pricing and make a fortune based on somebody potentially buying the company. By April 20, Musk had personally committed $21 billion in equity financing and lined up $25.5 billion of committed debt financing, with $12.5 billion of that secured by his Tesla stock. I wonder how the $12.5 billion in Tesla stock gets converted to cash, because he can't just sell this all at once or the price will experience a pretty big shock, right? The committed financing comprises a $6.5 billion term loan, a $500 million revolving credit facility, and $6 billion of bridge financing. That's just $13 billion in financing to buy the company. Makes my debt look pretty irrelevant. You better hope the operator at the bank is locked in when punching in the numbers for the wire transfer. The margin loan of $12.5 billion to Musk personally was promised on April 25, 2022. The loan was to be secured by $62.5 billion worth of Musk's Tesla stock, about 62 million shares at the time of signing. No biggie, just use $62.5 billion of my Tesla stock so I can buy this company. It's a pretty wild thought that the richest man in the world is making a purchase on margin. On May 24, without notifying Twitter, they dispensed with the loan entirely and agreed in a new equity commitment letter to increase Musk's equity commitment to $33.5 billion. When the market turned and Tesla stock was all of a sudden worth less per share, Elon needed to increase the amount of shares he was bringing to the table. Since there was an agreement with his lender that he could only use 20% of the equity in Tesla shares, Elon had to bring more cash to the table. Musk remains personally responsible for $33.5 billion of the approximately $44 billion required to complete the transaction. I know it's easy to Google Elon Musk net worth and see a very large number, but guys worth billions typically have a majority of their net worth in equity in one company. It's not like he has that much in cash. I'd personally love to see how much cash a guy like Elon holds, because I would anticipate it being much less than you'd expect. The company estimated the average of false or spam accounts on its platform represented fewer than 5% of our mDAU during the quarter. mDAU is Twitter's metric for monetizable daily active users. This became the contention point between Musk and Twitter, at least on the surface. In addition to deploying automated and manual processes that suspend on average more than 1 million suspicious accounts each day, the company undertakes a rigorous daily process using human reviewers to estimate spam or false accounts remaining on its platform after automated filtering and manual review. If that number is true, more than 1 million accounts a day, then that gives you an idea for how many spam accounts exist on social media. My Instagram experiences a fake account spamming my followers every day. Every YouTuber has fake impersonator accounts too. On April 21, Elon tweeted that if his Twitter bid succeeds, they will defeat the spam bots or die trying. After reading this 62-page lawsuit, this seemed to be the main issue between Elon and Twitter. My opinion is that Elon figured the bot issue was significantly worse than it actually was, and when he saw the raw data solidifying that point, he wanted to back out. A few weeks later, Elon tweeted that the Twitter purchase was put on hold pending details related to the bot account numbers. According to the lawsuit, Twitter sent Elon and his team very confidential data pertaining to this issue, and they claim that the numbers always resulted in the belief that 5% or fewer of the mDAUs were spam accounts. On May 16, Agrawal tweeted that Twitter's 5% estimate is based on multiple human reviews for thousands of accounts that are sampled at random consistently over time from accounts we count as mDAUs. That same day, Twitter CEO tweeted that they suspend over 500,000 spam accounts every day, while also locking millions of accounts each week that they suspect to be spam. Elon responded with a tweet containing a poo emoji. That's the same emoji I send in emails when brands are promoting their new NFT project. On June 21, 2022, Twitter claims to have given its firehose data to Elon Musk, which Elon was demanding for weeks. Elon complained that Twitter had placed an artificial cap on the number of searches Elon could make. Twitter had claimed that Elon had run into their limit of 100,000 queries per month. Musk had hit that limit within 2 weeks. Twitter then claims that they raised the limit just for Elon to 10 million queries per month, more than 100 times what Twitter's paying customers were receiving. Twitter also claimed that Musk was asking for an unusual amount of financial reports. Musk then said publicly that his financing obligations were depending on him receiving these reports, even though his debt financing had no contingencies. It's a 62-page lawsuit that I'm condensing down into the best parts, but the spam account data and the financial documents seem to be the deal breakers for Elon. I'm shocked that these kinds of potential acquisitions are made public. I would have thought that there'd be NDA signed and no one speaks about the merger or acquisition until it's finalized. Through my eyes, assuming Twitter's complaint is entirely true, Elon should pay a massive fine for the damages to Twitter's brand. I believe it was said to be $1 billion if he didn't close. There were multiple mentions in this complaint that Elon has said to have interest in starting a rival to Twitter. Elon just received a significant amount of Twitter's data, financial reports, internal strategies for the next 3 years, and their systems and processes for cleaning their platform of spam accounts. Twitter said they gave Elon tebibytes worth of data. Today I learned what tebibytes was. There should be some disclosure agreement where he can't start a competing company for a certain amount of time following access to this information. Am I crazy to think that? Here's a hilarious tweet by Elon, Chuckmate, with a picture of Chuck Norris winning a game of chess. For Musk, it would seem Twitter, the interests of its stockholders, the transaction Musk agreed to, and the court process to enforce it all constitute an elaborate joke. I hope you find this stuff as fascinating as I do. I was reading this complaint until about midnight last night. Surprisingly, you can learn a lot about business at the Fortune 500 level by reading these complaints. Maybe one day some of us will have enough money to walk into a public company and tell them we're interested in buying the entire company. Until then, I'll stick to my trivial $100,000 investments. Thanks for watching.